Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to the Tommy John Show. I'm always your host, Tommy Lane. That is Johnny Mishaws, our head commentator, gruesome Gavin Delaney, and our guest for today, a dear friend of mine, Mr. Everest Dixon. How are you, gents?
Pretty good.
All right. So before we start the episode, remember to follow us on our social media platforms on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, you name it. And here on YouTube, you can smash that subscribe button, the like button, and remember to leave comments on what you want us to cover on the next episode of the Tommy John Show. All right. So with the Philadelphia Eagles tank job, we'll call it what it is, the Washington football team have made the playoffs. There you go. That's the result of that. And their reward is playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom Brady. So right now, we are going to do our Tommy John Show NFL bracket prediction. So basically, we have the matchups right here, and we will predict who we think will go to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. So obviously, I'll run you through the table. Kansas City and Green Bay are the 1 seeds and have a bye to the divisional round. Then we got Buffalo hosting the Colts. We got the Steelers and the Browns, Titans and the Ravens. That's what the AFC looks like. Then we have New Orleans hosting Trubisky and the Bears, and a divisional matchup between the Seahawks and Rams. And then finally, Washington, Tampa. So we're each going to go game by game. Or what do you think, game by game, or we just run through our table quickly?
Let's go game by game all around. I think that'll be the easiest way to do it.
All right, perfect. So let's start with our guest, Everest. We got Buffalo and we got Indianapolis. Who do we like in that matchup? I believe
give me the Mafia, baby. Give me the Mafia.
Nice.
Josh Allen looking MVP this year. He's looking good. I love quarterbacks out of small schools. I love it. I think they have a different level of competitiveness. I think that they're built different. And I think that's exactly what Josh Allen is. I think he's a beast. I think he has all the right kind of skills to be the full package quarterback. And I think that the Bills did a great job of building around him, like giving him Diggs, giving him Beasley, giving him all these guys, drafting O-line. The Bills defense is looking great too. They have all the momentum right now. Really looking unbeatable. They're really looking good. So I got Bills on this one. Give me the Bills. And I'm going to say it's going to be a pretty high-scoring game because Josh Allen, man, he just racks up yards, throws a lot of TDs. So I think give me a high-scoring game, but give me the Bills.
And believe it or not, I've been saying Sean McDermott was the coach of the year for a few weeks now. I think he should be the coach of the year. Like, unbelievable, that Buffalo team. They went from a wild card team cusp to being now looking like the dominant force in the AFC East for the next 5 years at least. Yeah. Johnny, are you going with the Bills, or are you going with
everything Everest just said? I think the biggest thing they did for themselves was get Stephon Diggs. I think that helped them more than anything. Led in receptions, yards. I think he's the biggest factor in their offense. I think Josh Allen should win the MVP. I got Buffalo.
What'd you say? You think Josh Allen should win the MVP?
Yeah.
Over Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
All right. 48-5, and he can't get you the MVP. Aaron Rodgers threw for 48 touchdowns. All right. Yeah. Cam Newton was the MVP. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Okay. Jared Stidham was.
Yeah. Name a quarterback who started every game except for one and threw more interceptions and touchdowns.
I can't.
I think Peyton Manning may have done that his rookie year. I may be wrong, but Gav, Bills Mafia, as a Jets fan, can you do it? Or are you going to pick?
And that's because they're in my pool, so I'm rooting.
And they are.
But I also believe they're going to win. And Everest, totally agree with you there. Something about quarterbacks from smaller schools.
In one, yeah.
No, Bills Mafia.
We're all on the Bills. And it's not me, it's not just it's Buffalo, just because it's Phillip Rivers in the playoffs is my main reason. This guy can't close the door in the playoffs, So Buffalo, I think, is fantastic. And when I saw them annihilate my Patriots on Monday night, then I realized they were the real – Allen's the real deal right now. But, we could be here a year from now and being this guy sucks, But right now, he looks unbelievable. Next game we have is the Steelers and the Browns. And if you just heard, Kevin Stefanski got COVID, will not be coaching for the Browns. Does that make any difference? What's that?
Is that official? Like he's not going to be there?
He can't coach.
Wow.
Like, come on, man. Come on. It's the playoffs.
That is the most Browns thing ever. To make the playoffs, but then your coach gets COVID, so he can't. You don't have a coach. So, are we all on the Steelers or anyone on the Browns?
I want to bet Browns. I really, really don't trust the Steelers after the season ends. I don't think they're a playoff team. I think that they're a fake good team. I don't think Big Ben's that great anymore. I don't think Big Ben can get the job done, but it's the Browns. I mean, I really, really, really want to bet the Browns. Like, if the Browns do win, I'm on tape saying I really want to bet Browns, but I just got to go Steelers on this one.
All right, Johnny.
I agree. Betting man will go Cleveland, but a smart guy will go Pittsburgh.
Betting guy isn't a smart guy, Johnny.
No, that's not compatible, man.
Gav, what do you like? You like
I'm gonna go Steelers.
favorite player? You're not picking Baker Mayfield?
Oh, yeah, my favorite player. Oh, I love Baker Mayfield so much. Yeah, I love his dance moves. No, I'm going Steelers. But you know what? Disclaimer. What have we been saying all year with the Steelers when they were 11-0? This is the worst 11-0 team we've ever seen. There's no way the Chiefs would walk all over these guys. And then that kind of rang true as the season progressed. Mm-hmm. And like recently, they've just looked abysmal, not like the team at the start of the season. But they are in the spot. They do deserve to be where they are. I do think they're going to beat the Cleveland Browns. Wouldn't be surprised if this is a closer game than we'd all think. That being said, Steelers.
Well, anyway, if you guys want to know, it's Steelers -6.5 or -6, no, -6 right now. I was debating this. I really liked the way that Cleveland was playing. Even in that loss to Baltimore, they showed a lot of good things. But I still feel like I'm going to take the Steelers here. I don't have an explanation for it. I feel like Mike Tomlin coaching against a guy who's never coached before might be a bit too much. Because I think it's going to be a close game, but like automatically clock management comes into play. All that stuff comes into play. I don't think the Steelers will cover. I think it'll be like a field goal game, but I feel like by the skin of their teeth, Pittsburgh will win that one. So next game we got Tennessee and Baltimore, which I think is going to be, I don't want to say a classic, but it's going to be a very good football game. Like last year. Last year Tennessee went in and shocked New England. A week later, they went in and shocked the number 1 seed Ravens. They have the rematch now. Who do we like, Everest? Do you like Lamar or do you like Derrick Henry?
Give me the Titans. I mean, in 365 days away from home, Titans beat the Ravens twice. Give me the Titans. I mean, that offense is really, really good. Like, people don't talk about it enough. I think Tannehill is a great player. Not enough recognition, but just a great player. And I think that I don't really like the Ravens. I'm not a big Lamar guy. I'm not a big John Harbaugh guy. I like what the Titans are doing with their franchise. Derrick Henry in the postseason, man, come on. Give me that matchup every day. I think Derrick Henry's a monster, and I think that the Titans are really going to walk away with this one. I don't even think it's going to be close.
And big shout out to Derrick Henry, 8th man ever to get 2,000 yards in a season. So congrats to him. Johnny, you like Lamar or you like Derrick Henry or maybe someone else? You think J.K. Dobbins got the game?
Baltimore in this game, Tommy. I'll tell you why. I think Tennessee last year, they got carried by Derrick Henry. I don't think that's going to happen again. I'm sure he's going to have a good game. I don't think he's going to produce 300 yards rushing or whatever he did last year, you know. I think Lamar Jackson's been getting better as the season's progressed. Started off a little slow. And I like Harbaugh and I like Vrabel. So that's why I got Baltimore.
All right, I disagree there.
That's all right.
I think this is a no-brainer. I think Tennessee destroys them. I think Baltimore are frauds. They beat up on all the small teams. They take it out on these innocent teams like the Jets. They annihilate the Bengals. They get it on these awful franchises. And when they play a team with a pulse, they lose. They fall over. So I think they can't stop Derrick Henry. They couldn't last year. They can't this year, and especially in this time of year. Gets cold. People are sore. And a guy who's 250 running right you like a freight train, no chance you're going to stop him. Derek, no chance, Johnny. I'll put whatever you want on that one. I'll put it. And Lamar can't throw. And if he goes down, if he starts trailing in a game, he can't come back. He rolls over.
You don't need to. You can run the ball and come back, Tommy. Nowadays, it's not that big a deal. For sure.
All right. All right. Gav, Titans or Ravens?
Yeah, so the Titans again are in my pool. So not only am I rooting for them, but I think they're going to take it. I think it's all been covered already. Derrick Henry, he's an absolute beast. Derrick Henry, cold weather, playoffs, everything about it just screams Titans winning that one.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Tennessee is the most underrated receiving core in the league. I mean, A.J. Brown, Corey Davis. They have Humphreys there too, right? I think they're there. And I think Tannehill, he's the definition of a guy. He won't lose a game for you. He might not win the game for you, but he won't lose it. He won't make a boneheaded play. I'll knock on wood on that one. So, yeah, so Everest has Chiefs, Titans, Steelers, Bills. Gav's got the same. Johnny's got Chiefs, Ravens, Steelers, Bills. So I'll just start with Johnny to get this out of the way. Does Lamar beat Mahomes on the road?
Does Lamar beat Mahomes? No chance.
All right, so you got Kansas City. So then, perfect. Thank you, Johnny. And who do you got, Steelers or Bills?
Bills.
Bills. That's it, straight to the point. Any reason why? It's just because.
I don't know. I think Bills are a better team than Pittsburgh. I'll leave it at that for now, I guess.
There's nothing more to it, Johnny. I agree with you. I feel like this is going to be not a close game. They can't run the ball, Pittsburgh. And in this time of the year, if you can't run the football, I'm sorry. You're not going far. Everest, you got Chiefs, Titans, Steelers, Bills.
Yeah.
Do you like the defending champs or the Russian champ?
I think this one's going to be a lot closer than people give credit to. I think that the Titans are going to put up a good fight, a really good fight, but I'm not betting against Patty Mahomes with anything I got in me. That guy, I'm not betting against him in the postseason. He's legit. That team's legit. Those weapons are unfair with his kind of talent, and I just think they're going to steamroll the Titans. Give me the Chiefs on that one for sure.
All right. Steelers, Bills. What do we like there, Everest? Steelers and Bills. Are you sticking with Bills Mafia?
Listen, I don't like the Steelers. I know they have a lot of issues with their defense this year. Even though it's a great defense, there's a lot of holes due to injuries and COVID. I think that Josh Allen's going to pick apart that defense like no tomorrow. They don't need a run game. Just throw the ball all day. Give me the Bills.
All right. Gav, you got the same matchups. You got Titans, Chiefs, Steelers, Bills. Who do we like to meet in the
Tennessee, Kansas City. I think it's going to be a heck of a game as well. And we'll go back to the old betting man, smart man, like that Johnny brought up. If I'm a betting man, I'm not afraid. I'm not saying I will, but I'm not afraid to put some money on Tennessee. But as a smart man, I think I'm going to go with the reigning champions here, Tommy. Just because, but we'll go back to last podcast, what we were saying. The Chiefs, they've been winning, but not in a dominating – barely. They've been scraping by. And I'm not going to say – and I think they're going to wake up. But I definitely think it's going to be one heck of a game here between the Titans and the Chiefs. But I think the Chiefs will prevail, and it's going to be close. It's going to be close, though. So I look forward to tuning into that one.
And Bills, Steelers.
Bills, Steelers, I mean, it's got to be the Bills. Bills have been looking very dominant pretty much this whole season. You can't say the same about the Steelers. I mean, obviously 11-0 is pretty dominant, but after that, it's almost been night and day. And I highly doubt they'll be able to turn around and start dominating again while they face another dominant team in the Bills. So, long story short, Bills, Tommy.
So you're all on Kansas City and Buffalo, every single one, which you have every right to be. I have Buffalo beating Pittsburgh, like I said, easily. I feel like Pittsburgh, run the football this time of year. They can't do it. Big Ben, he doesn't have the same arm he used to. But it looked okay against Indianapolis, but it's not going to be – it's Buffalo's defense is much better than the Colts defense, let's be real. And we saw that Sunday night a few weeks ago. My surprise is I think Kansas City is not as good as everyone says they are. I think You look at the games they've won, they barely beat the Falcons. If you look at their last game, they barely beat. I mean, you can say the Tampa Bay game, but they let Tampa Bay right back into that football game. Tampa Bay looked down and out, and they made it a 3-point game with 5 minutes left. It seems like it's 14-2. They're a better record than last year, but are they a better team? It felt like the Packers team that won the Super Bowl and went 15-1 a year later. Yeah, they have a better record, but I'm not sure if they're a better team than the team that won the Super Bowl. I feel like now this could just be stupid of me because I'm going to switch it up. My gut's telling me the Chiefs are going to win, but I'm saying Tennessee is going to pull the upset. If Derrick Henry gets off, and the big thing here is Kansas City cannot stop the run at all. They can't stop the run for some reason. He's good. What's the big guy? Jones is good. They got good guys. D Ford's good. Their pass defense ain't much better. But I feel like in the cold, Derrick Henry, if the Titans get a lead, they're going to learn from last year. They're going to keep feeding the beast. And I'm probably wrong on that one, but I'm going to say, just to switch it up, I'm going to say it's going to be Tennessee and Buffalo in the AFC Championship, going out on a limb. But I would not be surprised at all. I will probably be wrong, and Kansas City will put 50 on them. So
I think you'll be able to tell that who's going to win that game from like the first quarter or the first snap. I think if the Titans come out looking good and they scare the Chiefs, I think you're right. They can control the rest of the game.
Absolutely. It's all about clock management, right? And if Derrick Henry just starts, but the thing is Kansas City can score in no time.
Yeah.
They can score in like 2 plays.
Yeah.
So
that's going to be a good game, though.
I'm putting a star. That might be game of the playoffs there.
Yeah, I think so, too. But the NFC is a crazy side, too.
We're going to go to the NFC right there. So the real question is, who's going to go to the Super Bowl? I'll just get mine done quickly. I think Buffalo beats Tennessee. That's what I got. So now you guys all got Chiefs and Bills. Everest, you start us off.
This game, other than the one we just talked about, I think this one's the game. If the Chiefs do make it, this one is the game of the playoffs for sure. I mean, this one's an absolute shootout. Both defenses aren't strong. I know that the Titans' defense is not great. Chiefs' defense has been good in the past, but I think they're slowly falling off, slowly like not looking as dominant as they used to. But that being said, I said it before, and I'm going to say it again. I'm not betting against Patty Mahomes. I think playoff experience and just obviously they've shown they're human against the Falcons. They've showed they're a human team. They show they're beatable. And I think they're the only team to do so that isn't Buffalo. So I think Buffalo hasn't shown that they're beatable yet. But this is the postseason. It comes down to, like you said, better coaching, more experience, and weapons. And I think that all three of those are inside of Kansas City. I mean, I'm an Andy Reid guy as a Philly fan.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I love him, and I think that he's going to outcoach the Bills, and I think that Patty Mahomes is going to outperform Josh Allen. I think simple as that. It's going to be a shootout. I'd say probably like 45-38 or something like that, but it's going to be a good game.
Johnny, you got your upstate New York team or you got the Chiefs?
I got the Chiefs. Chiefs are head and shoulders better. Leave it at that.
I feel like, Buffalo's not even giving them a fight?
I just think Patrick Mahomes versus Josh Allen. Josh Allen he doesn't have the experience. He's not used to the playoffs like Patty is. Patty's been there. He's done that. I think Buffalo obviously have a worse offense. The defense might be like about the same, but I think Patrick Mahomes is gonna just pick apart the whole defense, man.
All right, Gav.
You know what? It hurts me to say this. I think I'm gonna differ with my two fellow podcasters. I think I'm gonna go with Buffalo. Not only for the spirit of the show, and not only for the spirit of the show, but also because these guys bring up great points. The Chiefs, I definitely think it's going to be a shootout. Going to come down to the wire, high score for sure. Everest. I don't know why. There's a little voice in my head telling me Buffalo's gonna end up on top, but that's just the way I'm going with this one. Regardless, I agree with you guys. I think it's going to be one heck of a game. I agree with Everest. I think Johnny might think it's going to be a blowout, but I think it'll be a good game for sure. Anyway, I say that every time we talk about a game. It's going to be a great game. Maybe that's just because I love football, but I can say with a fact that
every game's a good game.
Every game unless you're a Giants fan when the Eagles are playing Washington. But that's neither here nor there. So All right.
Still hurts to say, eh, Johnny? All right. So we got our team in the NFC. We will go to the NFC.
Tommy, who do you think?
And
You think Buffalo's beating?
I said Buffalo's going to beat Tennessee. I feel like Tennessee's going to be on that high, and then
What if it's the Chiefs? You still think Buffalo's beating the Chiefs?
that's a very good question.
Because coming into this podcast, I was all in on the Chiefs, but you're starting to make me reconsider my pick. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I'm obviously all in on the Chiefs, right? Like my comments may not say so, but
They're losing
you have to give respect where it's due. They won the Super Bowl last year, so experience does pays off. But there's a lot of pressure. They got to repeat. That's gonna. I feel like they're gonna be more cautious than gunslinging. I don't know. It's a gut feeling.
Yeah.
It's all about like Kansas City knew they were playing in the playoffs since week one. Where Tennessee's been playing for their damn lives every week with Indianapolis. Who's going to make it, who's not. But yeah, I obviously I think Kansas City matches well with Buffalo. I feel like Buffalo wants a shootout. Kansas City wants a shootout. It's like styles make fights. Same in the NFL. Buffalo plays into Kansas City's hands, I feel. But I feel like Tennessee's style matches way better with Kansas City. But Bills and Titans is more of a matchup that Buffalo wants, I would say. And to put the ball in Derrick Henry's hands again another week in a row, like the body might start to slow down a bit. And Buffalo has a much better defense. I would say it's going to be between Buffalo and Kansas City. You can pick them. So just to be clear, Gav's got the Bills representing the AFC. Everest and Johnny got the Chiefs, which is probably the right answer. I got Buffalo right because I went out on the largest of limbs, me and Gav. Buffalo making the playoffs. But I had Kansas City losing its first playoff game, so if that happens, the odds of that happening, Johnny, what'd you say? 1%, 2%?
I'd give it a solid 15%, Tommy.
8. Okay, all right, 85-15. See, I like living dangerously, Johnny. That's my problem. So now we'll head to the NFC, gentlemen. Green Bay has the bye in the NFC, right? Then there's New Orleans, Chicago, Seattle, Los Angeles, that is the Rams, and Washington and Tampa. So Everest, New Orleans, Chicago, Trubisky versus Breeze, the matchup we all wanted.
We all needed it. We need to see it. We need to see the GOAT versus Drew Brees.
Yeah.
And I'm not going with the GOAT on this one. I'm going to go with the Saints. I think it's a no-brainer. I really do. I really think Chicago shouldn't even be here. I really don't know what they're doing here. I don't know how they got there off a loss, but they're here and they're going to get smacked.
Fair play, Everest. I was debating. I'm like, oh, Chicago's they got a good defense. I'm trying to find all these rationales. I can find one to pick Chicago. And it's just because Johnny knows my hate for Trubisky. In short, I picked the Bears last year in our pool in the first round because it came after the year they went 12-4. I'm like, there you go. They're going to come back. The double doink guy's gone against Philly. This is going to be our year. And Trubisky, Stevie Wonder could have done a better job than
Could have done it
last year. So I'm never picking Mitchell Trubisky in a big game ever again. I am taking the Saints, and let's just say the Saints will cover. That's all I'm gonna say. It's gonna be bad. Gav?
Yeah, I agree with both of you guys. I don't think anyone in their right mind could disagree with you here. It's a little confusing to see them even here, but they're here. And all we can do right now is say that the Saints are gonna have a fairly easy entry to the 2020-2021 playoffs.
Their defense is good, Chicago, but I feel like they can stay in the game, but then they won't be able to stay in it for 4 full quarters. Johnny, New Orleans, Trubisky or Breeze, or should I even ask this question?
I think the whole debate ends as soon as you get Trubisky versus Breeze. Trubisky's garbage, can't make a pass. Drew Brees is one of the best quarterbacks of all time. No brainer. I think Chicago is the worst team in the playoffs, to be honest. Yeah, I think New Orleans is going to slap them around.
You got the Bears, right, Johnny?
Yeah.
No,
The
everyone's on New
speculation
Orleans.
that this might be Drew Brees' last season, not only in New Orleans but in the NFL.
Ever, period.
Yeah, so I don't know. There's gonna be some pressure on him, that's for sure.
Going to be interesting. I think this will be the next game is going to be the who knows game of the week. It's Rams and Seattle. Everest, who do you like in this one? Two division rivals.
Yeah, like I said, yeah, this one's a tough one. This is a really big head scratcher. I mean, the Seahawks, I have no clue what's going on, what happened with them. All I know is that I was big on them in the beginning of the year. I watched like every single one of their games, and like I thought that they were going to beat the Chiefs. Like they looked so good. Offense completely fell off the wagon. I have no clue how, but they got Russ back there. Russ is going to do what Russ does, and that's cook up defenses. And what's great about the Seahawks is that actually their defense has been progressively getting better as the season goes on, which is like something that's I thought was going to hold them back from being a playoff competitive team. But their defense has made some strides. And honestly, with the Rams, they're just not that good. Like, Goff's not that good. I mean, Sean McVay is pretty much holding that team together. Like,
they do probably have the best player in football in Aaron Donald, but besides, and Jalen Ramsey's one of the best corners.
Ramsey, I'm not going to knock the defense too much, but I just don't think that they're that good. They're inconsistent. They're not they're not someone that scares me. There's someone that scares me to win the odd fluky game, like against Arizona. I have no clue how Arizona lost, but they beat Arizona. So it's like, it's games like that makes me really unsure that Seattle could pull off a win. But I'm going to go with the Seahawks on this one. I just think that they're the better overall team. It's the postseason. Like, they should not lose this game. I'm going to go with Seahawks.
Johnny, what do you think? And I think maybe the closest game of the week this week.
I agree, Tony. I'm like torn on this because, on one hand, Rams outside of week 17, they're 0-2. They already lost the Seahawks week 16, lost the Jets week 15. Then on the other hand, Seattle, their secondary has a lot of problems. Russell Wilson's been trending downwards. I don't know what to do on this one, Tom. I'm really stumped because I think Seattle has a better offense for sure, but the Rams got the better defense.
Mm-hmm. Who do you think's a better coach, Pete Carroll or Sean McVay?
That's another close one. It's tough, man. I think Carroll has the edge just because he's played longer, he's been around longer. Mm-hmm. But for this game, I might be wrong, but I'm going to go Los Angeles just because, defense wins championships.
All right. See, this game you can't go wrong. If you pick the Rams, okay. If you pick the Seahawks, like no one knows. But I'll tell you what, I know it's going to be entertaining because these teams know each other so well. They already played each other twice. I think they split. So, yeah, it's going to be a great game. Right now, Seattle's -4. That's the line right now, which sounds about right. They're the home team.
Yeah, that's just home team advantage right there. It's nothing else.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Gav, who do you like? Yeah. Los Angeles, Seattle?
I'm going to go Seattle, and this is because I think, like we said, all the points have really been covered so far. LA has proved to be pretty inconsistent as of late, and the Seahawks, pretty much the same thing. They really tapered off. They had a strong start with some good acquisitions in the offseason. Very strong start, but it kind of tapered off a little bit, and eased off the gas a little. But I still put my money on Russell Wilson. I think he's dominant, definitely one of the best. Spends $1 million on him on his healthy year, so that can't go to waste. So I think the Seahawks will take this one, Tommy.
I'm looking at this. The Rams are the biggest hit or miss team. They beat Tampa on Monday night in a great game. Then they lose the next week to San Francisco. Then they win 2 in a row. They thump my Pats and the Cardinals. Then they lose to the Jets. So I don't even know what the identity of this football team was. After they beat Tampa Bay on Monday night, I like this team could threaten to be in the Super Bowl. But since then, they've been the most inconsistent team I've ever seen. I honestly don't know. I feel like Russell Wilson's going to pull out the win. I'm going to pick Seattle. But it's going to be a close game. -4 seems pretty right now, Everest. I think so. So the next one we got is the one I'm looking forward to the most. Tampa Bay heading to the NFC East champion Washington football team. Everest, Brady getting called out by Chase Young too, saying, I want Tom, I want Tom. Does he want Tom?
Brady coming over to the best division in football, the NFC. I like to see it because this side of the bracket is competitive. It's going to be intense. I have no clue what to make of it because, listen, this is an obvious one. Bucks are going to take it. I think that they're going to bench Brady even probably for the second half of the game. Like, it's like they're going to completely walk away with it. Now, going forward, I don't know what the health of the team is. Like, is Evans going to be there?
They said he was day-to-day, so.
That's if Evans is there, I like this Bucks team going forward. But Brady's going to make it really, really tough because, like, we saw them in the regular season, this Bucks team, and they looked really good, but they looked really inconsistent, but they looked like extremely good, and they had flashes of like extreme good moments. So I think that, like, come postseason, I think that we're going to see another level of Brady and the Bucks. I don't know. That's just my take.
What have I been saying, Gavin, Johnny, in January? What have I been saying? What have I been saying?
Dangerous. Tom Brady's dangerous.
And what time of year though? What? Not a September Tom Brady. We're talking
January. Tom Brady.
And we've seen fourth quarter Tom Brady coming to play these past few weeks too. So combine the fourth quarter Tom Brady and postseason Brady.
Keep talking, Everest. Keep talking. I won't say anything. All I got to hear is how cheating this, cheating that. We need to see more from Tampa Bay. No, you don't, because you know who this guy is. You know what he'll do against Washington. Really? Come on. The spread? Do you think they cover? I think the spread's 8 points right now. They'll cover. Let's be very, very clear. But the way you beat Brady is you got to get pressure on the quarterback, which Chase Young can absolutely do. But they're gonna find a way. You know, they're gonna bring in Fournette to help out with the left tackle or something. They're not gonna let Chase Young single-handedly beat them. And Alex Smith is the worst quarterback against the blitz, and all Todd Bowles does as defensive coordinator is blitz. So, Johnny, Brady and the Bucks, or Alex Smith and the Washington football team?
I'll go to the Bucks. I hope they win 60-0. I hope it's an embarrassing game for Washington, and yeah.
Do they win 60-0?
I wouldn't bet on it, but I would hope so.
Gav?
Yeah, Tommy. I'm gonna choose the Bucks here. No, it's a no-brainer in my mind. I think going into this, Tom Brady. We just said Tom Brady's dangerous, and I think Tom Brady. He's gonna want to prove some people. He's gonna want to prove the very few people that still believe that it was Bill Belichick was the mastermind of the past.
We'll head to the divisional round. Everest, you got, I think, the matchup of the two best quarterbacks in the NFL. Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady. Is that not tasty? That will be 425, Troy Aikman, Joe Buck on Fox. That's what that game is.
I got Aikman. Yeah, I need Joe Buck calling those plays because that is going to be a great game. I mean, listen, I think because we had in the other conference Chiefs, Bills, but this one's different for different reasons because I think that we're betting on the prospect of Brady. Like I know that when I see this Bucks team, I'm betting on Brady and Brady alone. I don't even look at the defense. I just see Brady. Like, but when I see this Packers team, like I watched them for the first time and like they're good, but I don't know. It's really up for debate. I did the whole bracket already, and this is the one game that I didn't
fill out
because whoever wins, I think, is gonna steamroll the rest of my bracket. So I wanted to hear what your guys' takes were on this one.
Well, I think you know where I'm gonna go. I don't even have to say. I love Aaron Rodgers as a football player. You can say whatever you can say. Oh, he's like not a good teammate. Whatever. You see him between those white lines, and he's unbelievable. But I want to ask you guys a question. Does playing a team before and getting hammered by them affect your psyche at all, like going into the playoffs? Like, 'cause Tampa, when they played Green Bay, annihilated them. Like, it wasn't even a game. It was an annihilation.
Too.
Yeah, exactly. So does that play? Will Green Bay be thinking, well, shit, they blew us out last time? Like, is that in their mindset at all?
I think it's definitely in their mind. whether it's up to them whether or not they let it kind of like take them over and let it impact their performance on the field. But I think it's different. Like if it had been a close game, then they can correct a little. If it comes down to a close game, it usually comes down to one or two things that they did wrong that they can easily fix. But when it's that big, when it's like just an absolute hammering like we saw earlier in the season, then it's not just one or two things. It's a multitude of things on both sides of the ball that will definitely impact the way they go out in the field. But obviously people are going to be saying, well, if these guys got their asses handed to them earlier on in the season, you can expect something along those lines here.
Everest, in short, I'm just not picking against Tom Brady this time of year.
Yeah.
And it feels like the Packers, a lot of the time, they make the playoffs or either 1 or 2 seed and they lose. But how big is that one bye this year? I don't know. But I feel like I can't pick against them. I just can't. I can't. Johnny, you probably will.
I mean, obviously Brady in the playoffs is.
But no, but you got Packers-Rams. Never mind. You got Packers-Rams, so I'll get you out of the way. Rams or the Packers?
Wouldn't it be Rams Saints?
Nope, because you picked the lowest seed plays the worst. The worst team plays the best team.
Okay. So Rams Packers. I got Packers then, obviously.
Packers. You got Bucks Saints. Oh man, I don't want to play New Orleans. I want someone to get New Orleans out of there because they took my boy out a few times.
See, if it was Tampa Green Bay, I think I would have went Tampa. But Tampa New Orleans, I gotta go New Orleans.
You got Saints Packers, which a lot of people have right now. Gav and Everest and myself, we have Bucks and Packers. Gav, I'll ask you. I'll give Everest more time to process.
Yeah, as ever, I share the same feelings as Everest. This one's tough. This is looking over it. This is probably the toughest one we've been thinking about so far. But Tommy, you bring up great points. I mean, Tom Brady is a dangerous man, period, because he kisses his son. But he's also a dangerous man. I'm kidding. He's a dangerous man on the football field in this time of year. But I have the Bucks taking the Packers.
You've come a long way since last week when you were hesitant on my guy. But I appreciate you. Gav, you're putting hate aside. You're putting hate aside. No. Respect.
I appreciate that.
Everest, Aaron Rodgers, or Tom Brady?
Yeah, I think after everything's all said and done, I think I'm going to have to go Bucks on this one. Really and truly, the only reason why I'm going to say the Bucks is because I'm betting against the Pack. Like, really, I don't see them as a full team. Mm-hmm. Like, I see Rodgers and I see Devontae Adams, but, like, I don't see the other guys, and I don't know if that's really going to be enough. So at this point, like, I really just see Brady and those weapons.
Yeah.
And I think the Packers are going to beat themselves on this one. Like, I don't think Brady's going to play super, super well, but he's going to manage the game, and I think that they're going to outperform the Packers.
That's a good point. Like, A-Rod's up there. Well, Aaron Rodgers, he's up there for MVP, obviously. Probably a shoo-in, unless, Josh Allen takes it.
No, it's a shoo.
I'm pointing to Johnny because I know Johnny has him. But you're right. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, he can't win a game by himself, and his weapons just haven't been as vocal and as present as Tom Brady's weapons have this season. And that's why I think, Bucks will take it. But I already said that.
All right, so then we'll pick it up here. We, Everest, Gavin, myself, all have Saints, Seahawks. Who do we like? I got Seattle because I feel like New Orleans is a perfect example of a team that gets to the playoffs and lose, but they had Trubisky in the first round, so they can't lose that one. Even they can't blow that one. So I feel like Russell Wilson is the worst nightmare for that defense that puts a bunch of pressure. He can get outside the pocket. And Lattimore versus Metcalf's going to be a battle all game, but I feel like Seattle's going to take down New Orleans. Anyone else? And Everest, do you want to go? Gav, up to you.
I'm picking the upset, but I'm going Seattle on this one too. I think Drew, but I don't know. I think it's the end of the road. Obviously, like, the one thing that, like, they have really going for them, the Saints, is it's Drew's last year, and he's going to make a push. He's going to play with a lot of heart. But it's the Saints, man. Like, we've seen them so many times get into the big games, like, just look like such a great franchise and just lose and lose again and again and again. And, like, at this point, like, with Breeze's regression in his career and like with the Seahawks just being so much younger and so much more talented offensively, like you said, like I don't even care who Lattimore guards. There's still going to be another lethal receiver open for Russ to just throw to all game. So like, I really see the Seahawks getting a win out of the Rams game and just having so much momentum that they're going to steamroll the Saints. I think it's going to be a low scoring game, but 24-17 Seahawks.
Ooh, I like it. Gav?
Yeah, I'm Seahawks. Like you said.
Wow.
How I know. Like you guys said, something about New Orleans in the playoffs, man. They just can't get it done, and that's okay. You know, not everyone's meant for the playoffs.
All right, Johnny, you are going to have your own separate NFC Championship game because you have Packers Saints. And last time you were on here, last week, you said New Orleans were your pick to go to the Super Bowl. Is that still the case?
Yes, sir.
They're going to go into Lambeau and beat Green Bay. You got New Orleans.
Said it before, I'll say it again. New Orleans, I think they have it this year. You know, Mike Thomas is going to be back. Drew Brees is going to be back full health. Drew Brees is going to win. It's last year. I think this is the year he wins the chip, man.
And Alvin Kamara, last time we saw him, ran for 6 touchdowns.
Exactly. That's a lot of touchdowns, man.
So Johnny's Super Bowl is Chiefs and Saints. And Gav, Everest, and myself, we all have Tampa, Seattle. Everest, who do you like?
Honestly, like I really want to see Seattle versus the Packers. I think that's going to be a better game than the Seahawks Bucks. Because honestly, like Russell versus Rodgers would have been a good show. But I got Brady now. I got Brady versus the Hawks. And I think I really want to go Seahawks. I do want to go Seahawks, but I think if the Bucks do pull out a win against the Packers, then I don't see them beating the Seahawks. Like obviously, like it's gonna come down to the Bucks Packers game, and whoever wins that game is going in. And I personally like the Packers odds versus the Seahawks. However, I think that if the Bucks can beat the Packers, in which I think they will, then they've proved to me personally that Brady's there, the team's there, the weapons are firing, and that they're a legit postseason team. So I think that if they do prove themselves in the first 2 games, it'll be an easy win against the Seahawks.
So you're going Tampa.
I'm going Tampa.
Oh, man.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I see Tampa beating Seattle here. It's just one of those things, man. Definitely a good game, but I just think Tom Brady and his weapons trump Russell Wilson and his at this very moment. Yeah, I see Tampa. I think they're a bit more dangerous than Russell Danger Wilson.
All right, so me, Gav, Everest, all have Tampa. I thought I'd be the only one having Tampa going to the Super Bowl, but you know, you guys are smarter.
It's hard because we can't see playoff Tampa because they're playing the freaking football team. Like it's like
exactly.
Like we can't see who this Tampa team's gonna be like until we see them against the Packers, and that's already you know, it's a little bit late then. So
you know their confidence is gonna be sky high because if they go to Green Bay, they would have won 5 in a row, 4 in a row ending the year, and then probably beating Washington.
I don't think the bye is good for the Packers either.
I hate the bye for the Packers. I hate the bye more for Kansas City because they rested their starters last week and they have another week off. They're going to be cold, man, and whoever comes in there is going to be scorching hot. So we all have different Super Bowls except for me and Gav. Me and Gav both have Bills and Bucks. I'll get that done with. I can't pay against Tom Brady versus the Bills, even though he's in a Buccaneers uniform. Come on, Tampa Bay. Or is Buffalo going to win the Super Bowl? I'll just ask you now. Yes or no?
Dude, this is tough. If it gets to that, I have a very
That's what. This is not me. This is what you have. You have Buffalo winning the AFC and Tampa winning the NFC.
So I can't see the Bills winning this one. I think I'm going to have to go Tampa as well. But that's definitely going to make for one heck of a Super Bowl.
Who knew Brady would be meeting the Bills in the Super Bowl? That's kind of weird. Everest, you have the matchup I think everyone wants to see, which is Brady versus Mahomes
Yeah.
in the Super Bowl. In Tampa, it's funny enough, the Super Bowl's in Tampa Bay.
Facing Patty in the Super Bowl, man. Like I know we say it back to back, it's hard to do, but I think Patty is that guy where it's like he's gonna prove a lot of things we've never seen before, and I think he's the kind of guy to just change the way of football, and I think he's the kind of guy to I think he's gonna win Super Bowl MVP again, and I think that the Chiefs are gonna take it over the Bucs, no doubt about it.
If you were to do that, last team to repeat, my Patriots in 2004, 2005. Beat your Eagles that year. Just sorry to bring it in, but you got us back a few years back. So,
Hey,
Johnny, you have Chiefs and Saints.
Yeah.
Mahomes versus Breeze, and which is actually an underrated Super Bowl, I think.
Yeah, it's the Super Bowl I've been saying for a while now. I think it's what it's going to be. And I think the Saints are going to win. And the biggest reason why I think the Saints are going to win is because the biggest weakness Kansas City has is their front seven, right? Their front seven, they've been begging teams to run the ball for years now, right? And with Drew Brees, who can't complete a pass over 15 yards, Mike Thomas only runs slants, and Kamara only catches checkdowns. I think that's the perfect recipe to beat Kansas City.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how Kansas City could stop a Kamara onslaught, like catches out of the backfield.
Right. That's why I think that's going to be a deciding factor in that game is the short plays.
If you remember the AFC Championship when Mahomes' MVP year, his first year as a starter, when New England beat them, what was their Achilles heel was Edelman going over the middle. Like they couldn't stop it. And they couldn't stop James White out of the backfield. Like Brady would do the swing passes to White and they couldn't stop it. Now imagine Alvin Kamara doing swing passes.
Right. So I'm saying I don't think they'll be able to defend that. I really don't.
Absolutely. Honestly, I enjoy, like every Super Bowl is good. Like all of these matchups are great. But just to recap, Everest has the Chiefs beating the Bucs in the Super Bowl. Johnny has the Chiefs and the Saints in the Super Bowl, and he has New Orleans. So Breeze is just going to end his career with the Super Bowl win. Gav got the Buccaneers beating the Bills. Me and Gav have the same. I have the Buccaneers beating the Buffalo Bills. So that's our Super Bowl predictions, which is we're just going to change it. We're just going to do one every week until like the first round of the playoffs over. Okay, the Bucs lost to Washington. I'm going to redo my bracket. And Buffalo lost to Indianapolis. This is not good.